I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. I'm here to share the speaker portion of our Connections Over Coffee gathering of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Gurpreet Juneja is speaking on Step into the Leader You Were Born to Be. She is an accomplished business consultant and the visionary founder of CosmoBeing LLC, an organization in the forefront of neuroscience-driven transformative leadership within the context of the AI-enhanced world. She also excels in change and stress management initiatives. Discover the inner strength that resides within your business and set forth on a path towards a more fulfilling vision, all with the unwavering support of CosmoBeing. And you can find out more about her at cosmobeing.com, and that website is also in the text of this video. Thank you for being here, Gurpreet. You're on.
Awesome. Thank you, Jenny, for having me here. Thank you, On Purpose Women community. What a pleasure and an honor to be here today with you all. And I'm super excited to talk about stepping into the leader you were born to be, level up your leadership. Right? So I would start with posing a question to you, and if you would like to send a chat or, wave however you feel appropriate. But what does being a leader, true leader, really mean to you? Because we were just talking about how being a true leader is really being able to tap into that wisdom that we all are connected to, the divine wisdom. And I know being a business consultant and talking about divinity and spirituality kind of seems a little off, but it's really not, because when you are tapping into that wisdom, that's when you are the most innovative, and you have the creativity kicking in. You have all that is available in the universe, all at your service for you to be the true leader you're meant to be. So what I'll talk about today is, how do you actually step into that leader? Because I believe we all in our own ways know what it means to be a true leader. In our own worlds, we know what is it that we want to be. But we also know why we want to be that leader if we are not already. So today I'm going to talk about how you can be that leader. Now I'll start with 3 topics here under that title, right? The problem. What is the problem? Why we are not able to step into that leader we were born to be? The impact it has on us because we're not able to step into that leader, and the solution of how we can be. We can step into that leader that we were born to be. So let's start with the problem. And the problem is the I. The I. We ourselves are our own problems. The issues we create, which then leads to the challenges we run into, which then becomes problems in our lives. So what does the I do to us? The issues. Now, we as a leader, we would like to shine as a leader, but we can't because we lack self-awareness. We are blinded to ourselves. We are blinded to our own strengths, to our own weaknesses, to our own skill set. And that's a little bit of an issue, because when we cannot see who we truly are, how can we step into something we don't know? The second issue that we deal with is unleveled confidence. What does unleveled confidence mean? Well, either we lack confidence or we are arrogant about something. And either way, it's not a leveled confidence. And that unleveled surface is not going to give us a good stride to being a good leader or to being the leader we were born to be. So it's important to have that unleveled confidence be taken care of. The third issue we deal with is poor communication skills. It could be our body language, it could be our voice, it could be our writing, it could be whatever. I know there are a lot of authors here in this group, and the importance of communication, right? So these are the 3 main issues I would like to kind of talk about how they spun up issues, other things, other challenges and problems in our lives, which then does not let us be who we are meant to be. So let's quickly talk about what are some of those challenges. The challenges that arise because of those issues of lack of self-awareness and unleveled confidence and poor communication skills are lack of empathy. If we are not aware who we truly are, we don't empathize with ourselves. And remember, charity begins from home. If we cannot empathize with ourselves, we cannot empathize with people around us. And do you think would that be a good leader who cannot empathize? No. Lack of self-awareness and unleveled confidence also leads to micromanaging. Well, if I don't have the confidence in myself, would I trust my employees? Would I trust my team? Would I trust people around me? I wouldn't even trust myself as much. So I not only micromanage people around me, but I micromanage myself. Is that being a good leader? Is that the leader I was born to be? No. Now, if I have unleveled confidence and I have poor communication skills, then that also brings a challenge of inconsistent values. My values change, they differ, they change. I deviate from them based on the situation or the need of the time. Would that be a leader I was born to be? No, I run into those challenges. And I know as a leader within me, I know I don't like it. But for that, I got to turn some wheels and resolve some things to step into my power. Now, if I am micromanaging, if I'm lacking empathy, and if I have inconsistent values, what do I end up doing more of? I have an inability to delegate to myself as well, to delegate to people around me, to trust. And when I cannot trust myself or people around me, I'm not being who I really am supposed to be, because we are supposed to live with that trust. We are supposed to, that's a gift. It's a gift, and I'm not able to tap into that gift. So then let's talk about the problems that arise of these issues which have risen to this, which have kind of emerged these challenges in our life. What are some of the problems? Well, if I have inconsistent values and I'm micromanaging and I lack empathy, I am resistant to change. Now that's a problem, because it's all about change. Life is changing every minute. It's unpredictable. We are in the unknown, always. We might not want to think that way. Yes, every day I wake up the same way on the same side of the bed, and I go to the bathroom and I pick up my phone and I check my messages. But guess what? That's a mundane program we have created in our lives. But life itself is unpredictable, and it actually has its own beauty in being that unpredictable. But when we are not residing in that unpredictable, we resist ourselves from the change. We resist ourselves from the change, and we fail to take the responsibility if something goes wrong. As a leader, be it ourselves or be it people around us, if we don't know how to own to ourselves, we are never going to be able to lead in a way where people are accountable and people are responsible for their joy, for their happiness, for their successes, for their pain, everything. It's all in a package. We create our own joy and our own pain. And we need to know that as a leader. And if we can't do that, do you think if I am not able to own my own life, my own creativity that I have created, my own personal reality that I have created, and if I'm resisting change, do you think I would inspire you? Do you think I would motivate you as a leader? No, no, I would not be inspiring, and I would not be able to motivate you. So then, since we talked about the problem, the I, now let's talk about the impact. What's the impact? The impact is the me. The me is impacted. And there are two levels of impact. There is an impact level at an internal, an impact at the internal level and an impact at an external level. Let's talk about how do I impact myself with all those issues and challenges and problems internally to myself. Well, first of all, with the problems I listed before, I lead myself into a stunted personal development. My growth is stunted. Because if I lack self-awareness and I fail to recognize my own strengths and weaknesses, I am going to miss opportunities for personal development. And without understanding my areas for improvement or my areas where I'm blinded to, I'm going to struggle to grow as a leader. Wouldn't that be true? And if I am able to not grow as a leader, that leads to my other impact, which is reduced effectiveness. If I am inconsistent with my values, as I listed before, and I avoid taking responsibility of my creation, of my personal reality, and of course, I am demonstrating poor communication skills, then my effectiveness as a leader will be compromised. Because consistency and accountability are key components of being an effective leader. And it is true with my own self. When I talk about consistency and accountability, I'm not just saying projecting outside. I'm talking about that consistency and accountability projecting inwards first. It all starts here. And then I can project out. So am I being consistent with my own thought process? Am I being consistent with my own values, what I live up to? Am I being accountable for the promises or the commitments I've made to myself? Forget about the world. I'm just talking about myself here. Stepping into the leader I was born to be is not going to start until I am accountable to myself, to my commitments, and I'm committed to my own success, to my own personal reality, and to be that leader I want to be and I'm born to be. The other two challenges or the impacts I have internally is, well, I have limited learning and adaptability. Because if I'm resisting change and if I'm being closed off to different perspectives that surround me, I am limiting my ability to learn and to adapt. And in this rapidly evolving environment that we are living in today, especially the technological evolution we are going through on a daily basis, adaptability is very crucial for a leader to be successful. Failure to embrace change will lead to stagnation, and that will lead to missed opportunity for innovation. The more you're open as a leader to hear, not only to the people outside, I'm talking about internal, our own belief systems, our limiting beliefs. Questioning, why do I think that way? Why do I respond that way? Can I do differently? What it would feel like if I was to think this differently? What would that different perspective be? Having those different perspectives from within myself is step forward to stepping into that leader. Now, what would happen if I have a limited learning and adaptability, if I'm resisting change and if I am living through those inconsistent values? Well, I'm not able to delegate. I'm going to lead myself into a burnout and stress, because with inability to delegate and a tendency to micromanage my own self and people around me will lead to burnout for everybody, for me and my team, for me and my family. And a stressed and an overwhelmed leader is very less likely to be effective. and will not only hinder their own growth, but also hinder the growth of people around them. And they will neglect self-care, and they will neglect personal well-being for themselves and for the people around, because you don't lead by words, you lead by actions. And we all know actions speak much louder than words. So what are our actions today as a leader? What are the impacts we're going to have on the me externally? What am I going to project? Well, I'm going to have damaged relationships, because that overconfidence or that arrogance or that poor confidence and poor communication and a lack of empathy will damage my relationships with myself, of course, and with my team members and colleagues and my family, with people around me. Because successful leadership relies on positive interpersonal connections. And these negative traits, these unleveled skills, will hinder my ability to build a trustworthy and collaborative environment around me for people. What would that do? If I have damaged relationships, that would lead to team dysfunction. Because if I'm not able to delegate and I'm not able to manage and I have unleveled skill set, then I have failed to inspire and motivate people or my team, and that will result in a dysfunctional team. This will not only impede the growth of my team, but will also reflect very poorly on my leadership ability. Because a thriving team is essential for a leader's success. Now, that team could be just you, yourself. You know, how efficient you run your own life. That is a thriving team in yourself. It's also projected outwards. That thriving team around you, your family, your relatives, your people you love, people you truly care for, and your team that you work with. What would that do if my team is dysfunctional? Well, if I cannot inspire and if I cannot communicate effectively, I have limited influence and impact externally, because I cannot empathize with the team members or with the people around me. They struggle because I cannot influence them. I cannot guide. I cannot be the guiding star they're looking for. Because if I want to be that Statue of Liberty with a torch in my hand, then I got to first light myself up and hold that torch for them so they can find their path and lead their way. Leadership is all about inspiring and guiding others towards a common goal. And these qualities are very essential to create for a positive impact. Now, what would that do? That would lead to a missed opportunity for growth. Because if we fail to acknowledge the mistakes and to learn from them, that results in missed opportunity for growth for ourselves and for our team. But when, as a leader, we take responsibility for our actions and we use failures as learning opportunities, that's when we are better positioned for continuous improvement and long-term success as a leader. So I want you to think about those impacts, from the problem, the I, that we create, to the impact, the me, both internal and external. Are we ready to hear more about the solution? How do we do that? What is the solution? Of course, you know, the solution is what? The I am the solution. I am the problem and I am the solution myself. So how do I become the solution? I become the solution in two ways: by knowing thyself and by mastering myself. So let's look at What does knowing thyself really mean? Knowing thyself, I refer to as cultivation of self-awareness, regular introspection and solicitation of constructive feedback, and a conscientious exploration of my personal strengths and weaknesses are essential pursuits for any leader. To nurture a growth-oriented mindset that embraces the journey of learning and refinement is all about evolving as a human being and evolving as a leader. To be able to step into that leader we were born to be. That is knowing thyself, step one, cultivating self-awareness. Knowing thyself, step two, champion the change and innovation. How do you do that? You foster a cognitive framework that will not only accommodate change, but you actively champion innovation. You are comfortable in being in the unknown. You love the unpredictable nature of life. When life throws things at you, you're okay with it. You know how to run with it. That's how you champion change. You encourage a culture of creative ideas within yourself and within the team. You look at things differently every single day. How many of you as a leader challenge yourself? You know what? Today I'm going to do something different, at least one thing different than how I've done it in years. Maybe I won't get off the bed on left side, and today I'll get up from the right side. Well, that's a change. That's a different thing, because I'm making a conscious effort of bringing that change. I am championing the change. I am not comfortable in being in my comfort zone anymore. I want to be uncomfortable. I embrace that. That's when I become the leader I'm born to be, because I am exhibiting an adaptive mindset, which will position me at the forefront of this evolving human consciousness and evolving industry revolutions we are going through, one after another after another. The third step that's going to help me to know thyself and help me step into my power is embodiment of empathy. Exercising that virtue of empathy by not only attuning to others, but attuning to myself. Challenging myself for change, but having empathy. Those are two different things. Challenging yourself for change is not because of hatred or because of crushing. Oh my God, I am so this, I'm so that. No, honoring yourself. Challenging yourself because you want to be out of your comfort zone, but loving yourself to be okay being uncomfortable. To tell yourself, I know it's not easy. Acknowledging your body. Okay, I'm going to do these. I'm going to do 10 more sit-ups today. I know it hurts. And I empathize with you. But making that change, teaming up with your mind and your body and your soul, and likewise projecting it outside, outwardly, to your team members, to your people around you. A leader's capacity to actively listen and comprehend diverse perspectives while they manifest this genuine concern they have for the well-being of everybody involved in their team, including themselves. That is what creates a culture of compassion and understanding. And that steps us right into the leader we were born to be. Because we are not only listening, actively listening to the team, we are actively listening to ourselves first. What is going on? Every thought that I'm having, every thought that's passing through my mind, the impact it has on my body, the feeling it projects. And why do I feel that way? when that thought pops in. Knowing thyself, it's no joke. It takes a lot of work, a lot of conscious effort. And then comes mastering self. What does mastering self mean? Well, 3 steps to mastering self: shouldering accountability, confronting mistakes, not by shame, not by guilt, but by an unwavering sense of accountability. Oh yeah, I own up to that. I did that. That's a mark of an exemplary leader. I did that to myself. I brought this disease in my body. Well, if I can bring it, I can take it out too. I can push it out of my system. Now let's work on how do I do that? Let's first understand, how did I bring it in me? And that's when we start unraveling and start being accountable for my own thought process first. I then project, and my team understands what accountability means, because accountability is not just about the results that have come out. Accountability starts with the thoughts. So transforming those setbacks that we have had in our lives into catalysts for refinement. This approach of personal integrity will serve us as a beacon of a true leader. And that's when our teams will thrive, not just strive, but they will thrive. And we will thrive as a leader. That's mastering self and stepping into that leader we were born to be. Now, when we shoulder accountability, we inspire and we motivate, not because we want to, but because we live in a way where we are an inspiration. Because our ability to inspire through example and articulate a vision that resonates with the collective aspirations of the team, that is a true leader. That is what we are born to do. An acknowledgement of accomplishments or failures doesn't matter. A positive reinforcement that becomes instruments of motivation in our world. And failures, don't get me wrong, are not failures. They are the best learning opportunities. There is nothing called as failure in a leadership book. Leadership book is full of successes or lessons. We call them lessons because we strive for them. We refine ourselves, we change, and we become the masterpiece we are meant to be through those challenges that brought us down. And we become the beacon of light. We become the leader we were born to be. And then comes the step 3, harmonizing leadership with the well-being. Understanding the relationship between an effective leadership and a personal well-being. A blend of mind, body, and soul. A balance of all skill sets that our mind brings, our body brings, and our soul offers. Prioritizing that self-care. Curating strategies for stress management. And consciously advocating a work-life balance for ourselves and for our team. That's harmonizing leadership. Because a leader's resilience is not only a testament for their own personal fortitude, but also it's a treatment for a sustainable vigor for themselves and for their entire team. So how would you like to step into that leader that you were born to be? What are the problems that you have created for yourself? Find the problem, see the impact, and then you know exactly how to tap into the solution, because guess what? We all have our answers right within here. I cannot give you your answers, but yes, we could help each other tap into those answers. I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you for hearing me out. And thank you for stepping into the leader you're born to be. Thank you for letting me share some ways of how you can tap into the leader you were born to be and lead from within. At my company, CosmoBeing, we offer a variety of courses and programs on each of these topics that are listed, that we talked about, the solution and the problem, and we break it down into much deeper levels. And of course, the I, is the focus. So much more there to help you and be the leader you're meant to be. So today I'd like to leave with something for you guys. So what are top 3 things you identify for yourself that you would do to level up your leadership, to step into that leader you were born to be? If you would like to write it on a chat, or if you want to think about it and figure that out for yourself, I would love to hear that. Now, we have, I run an executive forum on a monthly basis where we can continue this conversation if you'd like to be a part of listening to Being the Leader You Were Born to Be. And I will post that link here for the executive forum. And also, I have a free gift for you that I would like to share, which is Mastering Your Leadership. So I'm going to post that link as well. Jenny.
Yes.
That pretty much wraps up for my talk. I'm trying to find the chat. There it is.
Yes, and I will also add that to the text of the video, so it will also be on our YouTube channel. And I want to ask the people who are here with us, I know some people had to leave, but if you would unmute yourselves and let's just give Gurpreet some applause and thank yous for this amazing, amazing talk. So come on, y'all. Unmute. Let's do this. Woo-hoo. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for, wow, you gave me a lot of things to think about and a lot of things like right in my face. I don't know about anyone else, but you do it with such love and compassion and empathy. So thank you so much for that. And we're going to take some questions offline in just a minute. So I want to thank anyone who's watching this live or watching the replay. If you want to join us for one of our Zoom or in-person gatherings, go to my website, opwgc.com, where you can find out all about our community and the magazine. Thanks for watching, everyone.